Hey family, whatever. Okay, hey family, it's Rhae, and I'm back with another word. I pray that you guys have been blessed. So I have another word for y'all. I'm going to get into it. The word comes from a dream that I had on August 14th, 2023. So the title of this is Secrets and Confessions. Okay, so I was in a field. It reminded me of a pumpkin patch in fall season. There was some type of scavenger hunt where people were all gathered in one location. There was an announcement made about top prizes that were to be found, like an Easter egg hunt. How you will find eggs and then open them up, and sometimes, besides traditional candy, sometimes there may be other prizes in there, like money, for example. So everyone began to run, and I remember there was a fence everyone had to jump across, then entered into a shelter like at a park, but it seemed to have a setup like a farmer's market where different items were set out on display. I saw a display of limes, and they all had slits in them, and inside the limes were pieces of paper. I picked up 2 different ones and pulled out paper. The papers were the things that were hidden and were supposed to be found. Not all limes had pieces of paper in them, but both limes that I picked up did. I read the pieces of paper, kind of reminded me of fortune cookies. I don't recall what the first one said, and then I read the second one, and the second one was one of the larger prize findings. And I remember going over to my sister and showing her the piece of paper, and then I heard him put it in my pocket. So it went to a new scene. In this scene, it wasn't really much going on. I just recall seeing different people from my past, like in different jobs or school relationships and things like that. And I remember the people who, I guess, started the scavenger hunt. They were coming around to find the people who had the prizes to see which ones they found. And so at this point, I remember looking in my pocket to make sure, filling in my pocket to make sure I still had the pieces of paper in there. So now a girl walks over to me. I'm kind of just standing off to the side of this dream, just to the side, and then the girl comes up to me, and she handed me a piece of paper. It had a few sentences on there. I read it out loud twice in the dream. The only thing I remembered after waking up was I hid behind a wall. That's what it said on the piece of paper. One of the sentences on the piece of paper said, I hid behind a wall. I remember in the dream I felt emotional once I read it the second time. She seemed to be confessing something to me, or she was a messenger handing me this paper or message from somebody else. And so that's it, and then I woke up. Okay, so some of the things that were highlighted to me before I get into the breakdown of this dream was, of course, to hide behind a wall. So to hide behind a wall obviously means to hide, or people hide behind a wall to keep themselves out of sight, to keep something hidden, to keep something covered up, or for protection. Another thing was the lime, because I was like, oh, why was it lime? Like I said, it reminded me of like when you open up like a fortune cookie and then you put a piece of paper out, but I was like, it was a lime. But in the Bible you will see that the lime, in I think Deuteronomy 27, it was used in reference to like plaster, which is used to like harden walls, stuff like that. But plaster is used as beauty and protection of surfaces of walls. So of course the lime indicating the wall, and then the paper, the confession, the message, the revelation is what was inside of the wall, or inside of the lime, but again the lime being the wall. I was led to the scripture for this word is Ezekiel chapter 8, but I'm going to get to the message first. Some people hide behind walls to protect themselves, their hearts. Some hide behind walls to keep things covered up that they don't want to be exposed. Remember, at the end of the dream, I was reading the note that was handed to me that said I hid behind a wall, and I felt emotional. This could be 2 types of emotions, love, gladness, relief, or on the other hand, it could be sadness, pain, betrayal, shock, in the innocence of exposure. So this word applies to 2 groups of people. I'm gonna start with the first one, would be confession. Okay, someone holding back or hiding secrets from you. They have walls put up, but they're about to come down. They'll be confessing something to you, secrets, lies, feelings, something that you didn't know. Some things that you didn't know are about to be revealed. So one is confessions, another is exposure. So exposure or revelation, there's people hiding behind walls, covering things up, presenting themselves innocently. Again, we talked about plaster being used as like a beautification for the wall. So hiding behind something that looks innocent, something that looks pure, something that looks acceptable, but in reality it isn't. Okay, so exposure. You may not see or know the truth of these people or what's going on within these organizations, but you're about to find out. This can apply to family, friends, ministries, relationships, communities, work, school, literally anything that has to do with anybody else that you're in some type of way that you're connected to. In this dream, the limes having slits in them is indicative of walls. Well, I already said that part. Indicative of walls being broken down. The slits is the hole in the wall, essentially. So these walls coming down. Once there's a crack in a wall, this can imply that its structural integrity is compromised. There's damage somewhere. So it could lead to more cracks and could eventually cause the wall to completely collapse. So like I said, and then once the walls are broken down, what's been going on will be revealed. And then I was reminded of the walls of Jericho, and that's in Joshua chapter 6. So if you would like, I'll put it in the description box, but if you would like to go read that and let the Lord speak to you, because that came to me while I was writing this down. So I'm getting to Ezekiel chapter 8. This is the scripture that the Lord gave me for this word. So Ezekiel chapter 8, I'm going to start at verse 6 and go through 13. So it says, "Furthermore, he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing, the great repulsive acts which the house of Israel is committing here, to drive me far away from my sanctuary? But you will again see greater repulsive acts." Then he brought me to the entrance of the courtyard, and when I looked, behold, there was a hole in the wall. He said to me, Son of man, now dig into the wall. And when I dug into the wall, behold, there was an entrance. He said to me, Go in and see the wicked, repulsive acts that they are committing here. So I entered and looked, and saw every kind of creeping thing and beast and loathsome things, and all the idols of the house of Israel carved all around the wall. Standing before these images were 70 elders of the house of Israel. Among them stood Jaazaniah, the son of Shaphan, the scribe, each man with his censer in his hand, and a thick and fragrant cloud of incense was rising as they prayed to these gods. Then he said to me, Son of man, do you see what the elders of the house of Israel do in the dark, each man in his secret room of carved images? For they say, The Lord does not see us, the Lord has abandoned the land. He also said to me, Yet again, you will see even greater repulsive acts which they are committing. So that's Exodus chapter 8, verses 6 through 13. But if you read further, there's more that's revealed in there as he's taking Ezekiel through these walls, and he's exposing these things to him. So that will be in the description box again. Like I said, also if you're led to, just read Joshua chapter 6. That was about the walls of Jericho falling as well. And so yeah, exposure, revelation, confessions, just hidden things, secrets. What did I say? Secrets and confessions. Walls coming down that people have hidden behind, and the truth being revealed. And so again, this is a season again of vindication. This is a season again of exposure, revelations. So yeah, take this word back to the Lord. Ask the Lord for confirmation. Test the spirit behind this word, of course. Share this word with anyone who you feel may need to hear this word. Don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, hit the notification bell so that you're notified of any future uploads when I post. And I'll be back soon with another word.